Crash and burn, baby. Crash and burn. So Versant has gone out on their own. And for those of you who don't know what Versant is, it is Comcast's garbage. It is all the cable networks that they spun off from Comcast to make the core company more profitable. That would include MSNBC. Well, they're publicly traded. That shocks me. I did not expect them to be publicly traded. So they went out to the stock market and immediately fell flat on their freaking faces. This is like BuzzFeed all over again. This is not going to go well. It's not going to end well. So MSNBC or Ms. Now or whatever the hell they're calling it, they're on their own now. They don't have Comcast propping them up, and we'll see how long they actually last. We shall see. I don't think it's going to go well for them. That is my personal opinion. But, maybe Rachel Maddow can pack him in again. I don't know. There's a lot of anti-Trump sentiment. Maybe there's enough to keep this channel afloat for another year or two. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Go out to more.clownfishtv.com for more Clownfish TV. This is coming from the New York Post. Comcast spinoff Versant, home to rebranded MSNBC, plummets in market debut. Shares of Versant Media Group, home to channels such as USA Network and CNBC, slumped 13% in its market debut after it got spun off from Comcast, underscoring investor skepticism around traditional TV businesses in the streaming era. It's not just that. It's the channels themselves. It's the content. It's Rachel Maddow. She can't carry it. The spinoff is Comcast's response to shifting market dynamics in the media industry as streaming pressures traditional cable TV viewership, prompting media companies to rethink their ownership of legacy networks. No, basically, you're not making any damn money for us. You're dragging your dead weight, Rachel. You're dragging the company down. So we're going to spin you off into another company, and we're going to scrape that debt off the bottom of our boot. That's how that works. The separation will allow Comcast to focus on its streaming, film, and TV assets while shedding its declining cable network division, once a core part of the company's business. Comcast first announced plans for the spinoff in late 2024. Versant houses the NBC Universal portfolio of networks, which also includes Ms. Now, formerly MSNBC, and other iconic brands such as Oxygen, E, Sci-Fi, Syfy, and Golf Channel. Sci-Fi used to be a good channel. Remember how good Sci-Fi used to be? What the hell happened? Ever since they changed their name to Syfy, it's like syphilis. They haven't been very good. It's also home to Comcast digital assets, including Fandango, Rotten Tomatoes, and Sports Engine. Oh, that's interesting. I did not know that Fandango, Rotten Tomatoes, and Sports Engine were part of Versant. That could be a very interesting development, right? Because Fandango is, ticket sales. Rotten Tomatoes is part of Fandango, and I could totally see them gaming the system even more for money. Hey, you want your movie to have a fresh rating? Well, here's what it's going to cost, right? Oh my God. The company's shares closed at $40.57, down $6, while Comcast shares rose 1.7 to $28.13. So Comcast stock is going up because they got rid of the dead weight. That's crazy. Legacy TV networks still consistently generate revenue, but their future outlook is bleak. It's tough to get investors excited about businesses whose best days are in the past. See also comic books. Ask IDW Publishing how they're doing these days. Versant is headed by Mark Lazarus as chief executive, bringing it back from the dead. The assets making up the Versant generate about $7 billion in annual revenue, Comcast has said. Let's see what these commenters say. I think we open that one too. All right, commenters say, it's no surprise to me that shares are plummeting on Rachel Maddow. She's associated with the name. How low will it go? Poetic justice for Comcast CEO Brian Roberts. Woke minister of misinformation and TDS. Philly says, like buying stocks for the Titanic. Yeah, this reminds me very much of what happened with BuzzFeed, where they had this huge deal for BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed's going to go public, guys. We're going to go public. Everything's going to be great. This is good. The future. Everybody's going to invest in digital media. And BuzzFeed barely exists now. Their stock went from, because I bought, believe it or not, I bought BuzzFeed stock. It was like $9 or $10 a share. And then it dropped to like $1 a share or something, or 50 cents a share. It was crazy. It was insanely low. MSDNC, not a good place to put your money. Redbox video rental kiosks and mall arcades, that's where they should put their money next. Yeah, I put my money into a mall arcade, and we're closing up shop. Anyway, hilarious. I cannot believe anyone would invest their hard-earned money into this travesty. Subsidized news, just like subsidized late night. Yeah. Air America, ring a bell. Let's be clear, Comcast bundled up the worst parts of their network debacle and sent it off toward bankruptcy land. Yes, this is exactly what they did. They kept NBC, which flies in the face of the idea that Comcast was truly dividing up the company into network versus streaming. Their typo, not mine. They had to get rid of MSNBC in what isn't a PR disaster. That is exactly what they're doing. If they want to divest themselves of network television, of traditional TV, they would have gotten rid of NBC too, or they would have gotten rid of some of the other channels that they kept. They got rid of all the shit. And so did Paramount, and so did Warner Brothers. They got rid of some shit. That's what they're doing. And I'm pretty sure the Netflix deal with Warner Brothers, I'm pretty sure they're not going to sell the TV networks. Those are going to be spun off. Nobody wants them. Right? Nobody wants the TV networks. Bet they give that guy a raise. Couldn't happen to a better bunch of libs. Hello, canceled department. Traditional television is a dead issue. People are at the point where they want what they want right now. They don't want to wait until it comes around on a clock with broadcast or cable channels. That's true. This is part of the reason that podcasts and YouTubers are eating your lunch is that they can get the news instantly and they can get unfiltered versus having to wait, until the 6 o'clock news or the 11 o'clock news to hear the story. They also go to Facebook. They find out what's happening locally before newspapers can print it. I mean, it's just the way things are now. Nobody cares what channels they own as long as they own MS. That's all people think of. This stock is in the toilet and here comes the first flush. Yeah. Look at the garbage they put on, the idiots they allowed to deliver it, and you'll understand completely why it tanked. So, yeah, this has been in the works for a couple months now, and that's exactly what this is about. This is about getting rid of the dead weight. And, God, I didn't think it was going to go. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to go well. I didn't think it was going to go this badly, though. This is coming from CNBC, which is now owned, I guess, by this Versant. Comcast spin-off Versant starts trading on NASDAQ in rare media debut. So they put a positive spin on it. Do they disclaim that they're owned by, let's see here. Disclosure. Yeah. Versant is the parent company of CNBC. They're like, oh, it's a great thing, guys. We're going to trade. We're going to trade on the stock market. It's going to be fantastic. I don't know if they did an update on it or not. Market Watch, though, did. Market Watch says Versant gets off to a rocky start on first day of trading after spinoff from Comcast. Shares of the new parent company of CNBC, Ms. Now, and USA falls 13% as investors move to adjust their portfolios following the company's split. So, yeah, the regular Comcast stock is going up. They didn't want you, Rachel. They didn't want you. That's why they got rid of you. The early ratings are in with shares of the new owner of cable television stalwarts like CNBC, USA Network, and Ms. Now tumbling 13%. Versant Media Group is down 10% on day one, faces big challenges as it seeks to build a successful business out of the bundle of declining cable television assets that were carved out of the former corporate parent, Comcast. This is how these companies do it. We've talked about this before. It's really unfair. I'm going to be honest. It is unfair that corporations can take everything that's failing and just spin it off into another company and get rid of it and be like, yep, that debt went with that company and we don't have to pay it now. We don't have to pay those bills now. Could you imagine if you could do that? Be like, you know what? I'm changing my name so I don't have to pay my student loans. Yeah. I'm just, Jim is the one who took out the student loan in the 90s and he's gone. You got to track him down. I'm Joe. It's like, that's basically what's going on here. And corporations can do it. Individuals cannot do it. You can't do that. You can't spin it off. God, it's crazy though. I guess you could file for bankruptcy and start over. I don't know. But, wow. Investors appear skeptical out of the gate, with shares falling at the opening bell and continuing their downward slide throughout the day. Wow. Comcast shareholders received 1 share of Versant for every 25 cents worth of Comcast. They split. And then the Comcast shares rose 1.7% on Monday. It's not unheard of for a newly spun off media company to experience sell-off at the start as some investors seek to rebalance their portfolios to reduce excess exposure. In 2015, shares of newspaper company USA Today Co., which was then called Gannett, fell 6% in the first day of trading. Yeah, but it's not rebounding, is it? Because this is, let's see here, last couple days. Nope, it's actually just keeps on dropping. It's dropped even more. Yeah, because it opening bell is what $45 on Monday, and it's down to $36. End of day on Tuesday. Yeah, they're screwed. They're screwed, man. I don't think it's going to go well. And if all the headlines are screaming that they're a failure, guess what? Advertisers are not going to line up to advertise on this young lady's rant fest. They're just not. And they weren't anyway. And that's probably why she got sold. Just saying. Gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.